check. Yeah, see, I'll kill him. See,
Oh yeah! You gotta get swifty! You gotta get swifty in here! It's time to get swifty!
Hey everyone, I got some new merch. There's really nothing more to say except for the fact that I think it's pretty f***ing cool. Yeah, new merch. Go check it out. Oh, I see that cool pint glass. I made that. And I made that too. Ooh, and that. That's, yeah, I like that one. So, yeah, go buy some HMODS merch. It let your friends know how cool it is. How cool I am. Or that you think I'm cool, whatever. Yeah, thanks.
Alright, well, welcome back to HMODS. We're working on Bland Off the White. When last we spoke, I was having a giant, huge problem of a time getting this into a Corsair Carbide Air 240 because it was replacing this, which is an EVGA GTX 750 Ti, which is 8 years old, and finally just recently crapped out on this. This was running graphics on what was our TV computer. We just basically watched Netflix, download movies, all kinds of stuff. But recently Danielle started streaming, and this thing started pulling its weight, and then, like an old horse, it finally just crapped out. Like it wouldn't, like, we'd be able to watch TV for like 5 minutes and then black screen. So an overhaul was needed, and so for that we are recruiting the uses of this Sapphire RX 580 8 gig. It's a Nitro Plus, so it's overclocked, and it's just a sweet fucking piece of machinery. And we had a bitch of a time getting it in here. Look at the clearance on that. Look at the clearance. So that was oh so much fun getting it in there. And then I had to take the motherboard out a whole bunch of times and put it back in to do things. And then most recently, where we ended up, I realized that the power supply, which is a Corsair RMX 550, will not power the graphics card because it only has one PCI port or PCI rail on it. So I have to switch out the power supply with this handy dandy Seasonic Snow Silent. This is also a 550, but it's got many more rails on here, so this will efficiently power the graphics card. Fuck. But in order to do that, I had to pull every single thing. I have to pull the drive bay, which I already did. I have to pull the CPU cable and all the cables out of it because Seasonic and Corsair cables don't get along, which is stupid because Seasonic cables get along with just about everybody else. Oh, yes, you might notice that I sound a whole lot better. And that's because we here at HMODS care about quality. And when we don't care about quality, it's an hour and a half's worth of non-quality. I forgot to turn the fucking microphone on last time. Last time we recorded audio, but I didn't have the microphone on. And then the time before that, I didn't even turn on. We didn't have that on. So this time we got it right. Possibly. So unfortunately, we can't use any of these kick-ass cables. Yeah, that's okay. We can still use the power supply at some point for maybe like a casual build. I am a little bit disappointed that I'm not going to be able to use this. This is the Cooler Master Air. It's a really, really nice looking cooler. It's basically the same thing as AMD's Wraith cooler, because Cooler Master makes all their stuff anyway. In fact, if you pay attention, it's got basically the same look. It's just this one looks like a UFO ship, and it looks really, really cool. But I don't have the AMD mount for it, so this is going away. We're gonna have to replace it with something that works. But for now, we can use this AMD Wraith Stealth that came with the processor. So this will work. But now I need the bit for the iFixit kit to pull the... Oh, and this is another disappointing thing. This was right here, and now it's not going to be. Because there's no room. So that's something that's going to have to leave. So at some point, I'm going to have to get creative about how I really want this thing to look.
Of all the reasons why you can't reuse that, I think we have a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Our tech just got too wavy.
That is a very good point. It's too big. Okay, so now we have to pull the CPU cable. And then we can pull the power supply and everything out. Come on.
Ta-da!
These TeknoAXE Cool Force cable combs are just kick-ass. I'm a little saddened that we won't be able to use these cables, but the Seasonic cables are white. I don't know how I managed to get this thing in there. I'm impressed that I was able to get it in there and screw both sides, because if it's tight, usually I won't screw both sides. Well, she hasn't let me yet. Okay, so now we're gonna pull the power supply, and hopefully get this in time for her stream tonight, which currently is looking good.
You jinxed it.
Yeah, I jinxed it, didn't I?
It looks so empty now.
Yep. It's very easy sometimes to mix up cables, especially with power supplies, with stock cables, because a lot of them will just come with regular black cables. And that's why I'm happy that Seasonic didn't do that, because these cables are white, so there's no possible way I could mix them up. I really wish I didn't have to completely gut this.
It's not a big.
It's gonna look good. This was the first computer. This is the first computer I presented to the world in a video, and back then I didn't it was just a 2-minute look at me, look what I did kind of video. It wasn't anything special. But now we're actually working on this thing, and it's going to be special when it's done. Because now that I have to pull everything, I might as well make it fucking look good, right? When this is done, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a hole in this part of the chassis and run the graphics cables underneath here, because there's just enough space in this panel, in between these two panels, to run it underneath, and then you've got this space right here to pull them out, and then I can put the cables up there. This is going to be super, super interesting, because this thing is just brushing the door, but it still goes on really, really well. So, like, getting this in was a bitch, and I don't advise it, but it's in, and so I hope I don't have to pull it in anytime soon, I'll tell you that much. I was wrong, these are not white. This is from another Corsair cable. But I've got them all in a bag, so that's good. It's kind of a waste using a nice white power supply in a case where nobody's gonna see it. So maybe at some point, we cut a hole. Get a nice little window above the mesh.
Hang on, let me show the camera here. This is the box that the rest of the cables came out of in that bag.
Yay! Okay.
I asked obvious questions.
Problem solved. You ask the questions that need asking. No, it doesn't want to go in, but it's going in. Sometimes you just need to shove it in.
Can I push it?
Go for it. It's the square one.
There's a power symbol.
Oh. Oh, lights. We got lights. This is good. That means I didn't completely fuck it up when I
So now I can push it?
go for it.
This is one of the, it's a square one, right?
Yes.
Do I need to push it longer? Is it bigger?
Alright. Well, shit. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to fix stuff. So we're gonna call it here. You have just witnessed a complete you can just witness a complete botching of things. Big oops. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.